The drama surrounding Lamont Roach's latest battle unfolded like a slow-building storm, one that began with confidence, spiraled into chaos, and ended with boxing's eternal question hovering in the air. What more must a fighter do to earn justice inside the ring? From the first bell, Roach found himself trapped inside a night where everything felt slightly off, where the lines between dominance and doubt kept blurring with every exchange. And yet, even in the uncertainty, the fight grew into something unforgettable. The night opened with Isaac Pitbull Cruz doing what Pitbull Cruz does best, charging forward with reckless violence, forcing Roach into an early dogfight. It was in those opening minutes that everything seemed to tilt against Roach. Cruz's pressure was overwhelming, and when he finally cracked Roach with a heavy shot in the third round, the first knockdown of Roach's entire professional career, the arena erupted as though the fight had already been decided. For a moment, it felt like Roach was standing at the edge of a cliff, one breath away from collapse. And yet, this was the point where everything shifted. Roach rose from the canvas not as a man falling apart, but as a fighter rediscovering himself. His movement tightened, his timing sharpened, and he slowly began bending the fight back to his rhythm. Cruz kept coming forward, but the impact of his charges changed. Roach's counters disrupted momentum. His footwork forced Cruz to reset again and again. It wasn't domination, but it was control, quiet, subtle, but undeniable. Many didn't appreciate it in real time, but those who understand boxing saw a technician at work, carving out space in a fight that could have easily swallowed him whole. Then the world learned the truth that Roach kept hidden through 7 brutal rounds. He had broken his hand mid-fight. The video from the hospital, his hand wrapped, his face exhausted, reframed everything. Suddenly, that shift in his approach made sense. With one hand compromised, he relied on finesse over firepower, intelligence over brute force. He still landed the cleaner shots. He still forced Cruz into hesitation. He still controlled the later rounds. And yet, when the scorecards were read, the result was a draw. Pitbull Cruz fans roared in approval. Roach stood still, trying not to let the disappointment break him in front of cameras. Because this wasn't his first heartbreak this year. 2 major fights. 2 major opponents. 2 nights where he believed he won. And 2 draws that left him standing in the strange purgatory where fighters are too good to be ignored but too unlucky to be rewarded. Tank Davis wasted no time taking aim at him. Tank mocked the performance, laughed off the injury, declared that Cruz was robbed, and insisted that Roach had nothing to offer him. It was Tank playing Tank, dismissive, fiery, unfiltered. But his tone made one thing clear. Lamont Roach was in his head enough to provoke a response. Shakur Stevenson, by contrast, saw the fight through a pure boxing lens. He publicly said Roach pulled it off. Not an emotional take, not a fan reaction, but the honest breakdown of one of the cleanest technicians at 135 and 140. Ryan Garcia echoed the sentiment, calling it a close but rightful win. For Roach, validation came from fighters who understand the sport deeply, even if the judges did not. But the real question was how Roach himself felt. At the press conference after the fight, his face told the story before his words did. He was composed but wounded, not physically but emotionally. He spoke with frustration, not anger. He repeated the same thing every fighter in his position has said at least once in their life. He wanted a level playing field. He said he was tired of fighting 2 opponents every night, the man standing across from him and the judges sitting below the ring. He was especially tired of being trapped in the almost category. Almost beat Tank. Almost beat Cruz. Almost secured the moment he's been working for since childhood. Almost never pays the bills. Almost never gets the title shots. Almost never builds a legacy. And he knows it. But strangely, these draws have also elevated him. Exposure is currency in boxing. Suddenly his name is everywhere. His skill set is undeniable. His resilience is undeniable. His ability to survive and then outthink pressure fighters is undeniable. He didn't lose. He didn't fold. He didn't break. He fought half the fight with a broken hand and still forced a draw against one of the sport's most relentless punchers. And that matters. Now the rematch conversation is exploding. Fans want it. Promoters know it will sell. Cruz's team is open to it. Roach is open to it, under one condition: fairness. He wants neutral judging, neutral officiating, and no variables outside his control. He wants a chance to prove clearly, undeniably, definitively that he is levels beyond Cruz when both men enter the ring healthy and unhampered. At the same time, the Tank rematch remains a shadow hovering over his career. Fans continue to push the narrative. Some want it. Some criticize him for wanting conditions. Some call him entitled. Others say he's protecting himself from another messy negotiation and another outcome that feels like a compromise. Roach's stance is simple. He won't attach his legacy to Tank Davis's unpredictability. He respects the sport too much to play business games that others manipulate. If the rematch ever happens, it will be on terms that honor him as a professional, not as a contestant in someone else's storyline. And yet, he stands on the edge of opportunity. The 140 division is stacked with killers: Matthias, Haney, Teo, Shakur, Gary Antoine Russell. He could go after any of them. He could choose his own lane and build a legacy independent of controversy. But the Cruz fight lingers like a cliffhanger begging for resolution. Because boxing fans love closure. They love justice. They love unfinished business. Roach has unfinished business. And now, as he heals his hand and waits for the next move, one question rises above all others. Which path will lead him to the greatness he has been chasing for years? If you want more deep dive breakdowns like this, dramatic, story-driven, and packed with the emotion behind the headlines, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next chapter. Who do you think truly won the Roach vs. Cruz showdown? Should the rematch happen immediately, or should Roach chase another top contender at 140? Drop your thoughts below and let's keep the conversation going.